Hey YouTube, this is the June update for my eToro portfolio. My eToro portfolio is a portfolio that you can invest in with me. All you gotta do is join the eToro platform and copy the portfolio. Let's take a look at how the portfolio is doing. Let's compare against the benchmarks I've set for this portfolio, and let's see how we feel about the portfolio going forward. So first up, let's look at the performance of the portfolio so far this year. So you can see the portfolio has returned about 9.47% year to date. It has had a very strong April, May, and June looks good so far. Remember, this portfolio went through one of the worst prices in recent memory, and that's why we had those declines in February and March. In January, the portfolio was not fully invested yet, so we missed out on some returns in January. We're also beating both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The S&P 500 is still negative for the year at about minus 5.8%, and the Nasdaq is about up for the year about 5.8%. So we are beating both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 considerably. But the goal is not just to beat these indices. The goal is also to beat some of the best investors on the platform. So we'll also take a look at that shortly. Before we do that, let's recap what's in the portfolio. So you can see what's in the portfolio over here. This is the weighting of each stock in the portfolio. I'll scroll down so that you can see the holdings. You can see that the portfolio is fully invested. We have a very minimal cash balance. Our biggest losers so far this year have been Booking Holdings and Boeing, and they are in the travel sector, and that's why they have been crushed so much due to the pandemic. But I think over time, over a period of 1 or 2 years, I think these two holdings can recover significantly. So that is why I plan to keep them in the portfolio. Our other stocks are very high quality stocks which have a long runway for growth. Microsoft has a long runway in cloud. Baozun has a long runway in e-commerce in China. Autodesk is a software company which is indispensable for the construction and manufacturing sector. PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard are leading in the war on cash, and are leading digital payments stocks to own. Adobe is another cloud stock that's doing very well. In fact, it released earnings recently, and despite the pandemic and despite going through a very rough quarter, it still did very well. Revenue rose quite significantly. Alibaba is an e-commerce powerhouse in China, and I expect it to also become a powerhouse in the cloud. Google and Facebook are both advertising juggernauts. Google has a good engine in YouTube, and Facebook has good engines both in the Facebook app and also in the Instagram app, and also a lot of potential in some of its other properties like WhatsApp and Oculus. Intuitive Surgical is a leading player in robotic technology, and I expect it to do very well. I expect it to deliver 10 to 20% revenue growth for the next 5 to 10 years. And Amazon is a powerhouse in e-commerce and also the leading player in the cloud. It is also becoming a very strong third player in digital advertising, and it also has a number of other very promising businesses. So overall, I'm still very confident about this portfolio going forward. Of course, the portfolio will ebb and flow along with general market valuations. But in general, I also think a lot of these holdings are not overvalued, are very reasonably valued, especially stocks like Google and Alibaba, for example. and even Baozun, which is one reason why we picked it up. And I don't think the other stocks will decline significantly because they are such strong companies with very strong moats. And if they do decline, I think they will come back up fast very soon because a lot of investors are interested to get into these companies at better prices. So after a lot of research, these were the long-term investors that I found on the platform that were the best. You can take a look over here. So the investors that I have set as a benchmark to beat are in particular Spark Liang, One Girl, and Reinhardt. So let's take a look at their portfolios and returns. So you can take a look at Spark Liang's return for the year. This is very impressive, 27% plus. One of the reasons why it's so high is because he managed to avoid the significant declines in February and March because he was holding a lot of cash. But for the last 3 months, you can see that in April we have beat him. In May he slightly edges us out, and in June we are leading so far. Another reason why his portfolio has done so well is because he had amazing performance by one of his holdings, Shopify. You can see Shopify is up nearly 400% and is now one of his top holdings. These are his other holdings. So some common names like Facebook, MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal. So next is One Girl. One Girl has also done an amazing 30% plus for the year so far. And this is despite the fact that her portfolio had significant declines in February and March. As my portfolio will also be fully invested most of the time, as downturns happen, I expect my portfolio to also decline, similar to how One Girl's portfolio declined. But as the market recovers and as the economy recovers, my portfolio will recover significantly and bounce back, and so did One Girl's portfolio. You can see that she had an amazing April. Again, this is partly due to one particular stock, Shopify, and also another stock, Nvidia, which has done very well for her. In May, she had very impressive returns as well, and in June, she's slightly trailing us so far. So as mentioned, Shopify is now her top holding because of the amazing run it's had. Amazon is another top holding of hers, and Nvidia has also had a very amazing run. So you can check out some of our other holdings here as well. A lot of common names actually. So our portfolios, I think, have a lot of similarities. And she also has a lot of up and coming names in her portfolio as well, as you can see. So the final portfolio we'll look at is Reinhardt's portfolio, which has also done very well for the year, nearly 20%. Again, it had a strong April and May, beating us in both of these months and slightly trailing us in June so far. All these 3 portfolios are managing many millions of dollars. So quickly we'll take a look at the holdings here. Again, Reinhardt's also benefited a lot from Shopify. And these are some of his other holdings. He also has Nvidia among his top holdings. His portfolio tends to be more diversified and spread out among a larger number of stocks. So you can see a lot of other common names as well. So right now we are trailing overall these 3 portfolios for the year. I don't think we will be able to beat them in terms of the year number, the 2020 numbers, unless one of our holdings significantly outperforms for the remainder of the year. But going forward in the coming months, I think we're already seeing in June that some of our holdings are performing well and we are beating some of these portfolios. And I expect that to continue because we have a lot of very strong companies and we're concentrated in some of these very high growth companies. So I expect these companies to perform quite well in the coming months, barring any major surprises in the economy or in terms of a second wave, in terms of the pandemic. But those things are hard to predict, so we'll continue to stay invested. We'll continue to look out for good opportunities, and hopefully our portfolio will continue to outperform the market, and also a lot of other investors here on the eToro platform. If you would like to be a patron and a supporter of the channel, jump over to our Patreon website and you can subscribe to one of our membership levels. You can also gain personal access through me and also my immediate thoughts and actions in the stock market through Discord at about $5 per month. We look forward to seeing you on the Discord chat. So if you like what you saw in this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not, so for future updates. And if you like the general platform, the eToro platform, and you like the ability to copy good investors, I suggest you join the eToro platform. You can use my link in the description tab, and you can even get an extra $50 to start trading. So thank you for watching. I hope you took away some good points from this video. I hope you stay with us on this journey, this long-term journey, and we'll see you in the next video.